Thank you for coming. I retired a couple of years ago after being a taxi driver in Aberdeen for 45 years. And people said to me, Finn, you should get a hobby. I thought, hobby? What kind of hobby? I said, well, DIY. Really? I've still got a cut here from when I cut my thumb nearly off in first year at secondary school. And then last year, genuinely, chainsaw nearly took this one off. It's sore today. I said, anyway, I have a hobby. I'm a word collector. A collector of words, from the ones most common to others quite absurd. I put them down on paper and file and jots and notes and lines and my thoughts. It's not a haiku, epitaph or prose, it's my decision where each word goes. Verbally or orally, all of it fantastic. It's not a villanelle, tanka or rhyme, just a collection of words, sometimes in order and not in other times. Alliteration of literacy, but that's my choice. A limerick, quinquan, an ode. I think I will pass, it's not quite my voice. Bordering close to the margin, the font doesn't matter. From the first to the last, a ghazal or a nippic, one line or two, epigram, acrostic, pen, black or blue. I'm collecting some words. How about you? Sonnet, verse, free or blank, I'm storing the words in a safe word bank. Pantoum or others, write it all down, save it, store it, never ignore it. Big up the long ones. Verbose or verboten, I'll not come up short, even though some words long forgotten. Nouns, adverbs, adjectives and more, pronouns, prepositions, interjections for sure. Stop. Now I'm just listening. But do I sense your offensiveness? Anyway, thanks for your support. I will keep on collecting. I will not abort. I am a word collector, a collector of words. Skin. You see this skin, not the one who lives within. You see the spots and scars, the wrinkles, cuts, freckles and hair, without an idea who exists in there. When you only look with your peripheral vision, not knowing about this outer shell disguises. I hope you don't mind surprises. You just don't know. I'm the happy loner in the crowd. You just don't see. I have one tattoo, that's all, a taint upon my well-worn shell. You think? I could probably walk you under the table, but if it's hilly, then yeah, I'm less able. But, and this is a big but. Don't jump to any conclusion. This smooth-faced skin was just an illusion. I've earned the tears and bumps and gashes that creeping, crawling time surpasses. It only tells you what you see. I keep inside the real me. I'm deaf, a bit blind, but I don't mind. My glasses help me read a book, and like me, you may discover that old adage, don't judge a book by its cover. Hardcover, soft cover. I can be both, inside, boiling up, troubling up, and no, I'm fine in this skin. And in this skin, neither thick nor thin, a human being lives within. Surface-wise, I may look fine. But underneath the muscle mass, the nerves entwine, twisting, coiling, angst and pain, inside, outside, not the same, not the same. You just don't know. Now this piece is genuine. It was written just after the first lockdown from COVID, and I was sitting on my taxi rank for about 3 hours waiting for a £2 fare. And it's all about being deaf. Because I wear hearing aids and I'm what they call profoundly deaf. I can hear, but sometimes I have difficulty picking out the actual words that people are saying. I find it hard sometimes to catch all the words that my fellow poets are saying when they're doing their reading. I wish the world came with subtitles. Like it's bad in my taxi, with masks and screens between me and the passenger to try to get them to speak clearly and give me their destination. I wish the world came with subtitles. Watching TV, it's great when there's programs have closed captions, but I hate it when they don't, or some on-demand shows don't, or when the words are behind the actual audio. I wish the world came with subtitles. In this constantly masked off world, concessions are made for many, but city centres are blocked off for the disabled. And deaf people, we can get out, but can't see what you're saying. I wish the world came with subtitles. My music goes on too loud. My radio goes on too loud. My podcasts go on too loud. I'm not too proud. If you ask me to turn it down, I don't know. I don't realise. I can't be sure how it sounds to you. I know how it sounds to me. It's loud, but that too. I wish the world came with subtitles. Hearing aids aren't perfect. They don't make things normal. They help. Look, I'm not ignoring you. Your words are important, very important. I can't explain, which is strange for one who uses words to make a point, tell a story, let you know I'm sorry. I wish the world came with subtitles. I take them out, and almost silence. Can barely hear the washing machine, the noisy washing machine when I'm in the kitchen beside it. The morning alarm, it rings for ages, disturbing my wife when she doesn't need to be awake. I don't hear it until it gradually gets louder. I wish the world came with subtitles. I wasn't born this way. It's hereditary. My grandma on my father's side, then my dad, but he never went to see about it. Then me, then my daughter, and my grandchildren. My grandma's head was big and hung on a coil beneath her shirt. And it squeaked feedback if you went too close. It didn't work. I had to speak into the box to be heard in a world before subtitles. I do sometimes enjoy the silence, switching mine off or taking them out and being alone in my head. Enjoy the silence of being at one with me. Then I still need to know when I get shouted down for tea, and I realise I could check to see if the volume on my phone is up. But wouldn't it be great if the world came with subtitles? Just imagine them floating in the air, words destined for only people that they're meant for. Or flick an imaginary switch and you can see everybody's words floating, sharing, shouting, swearing, counting, caring. Perfect for a found poem. The silence of constant chatter in a world where words do matter. Choose your font, choose your language, hit translate. What was that? Too late. Your word escaped in the breeze to hide amongst the trees. In a world, not perfect, but with subtitles. Genuinely often, we'll get that either deja vu, or you wonder if there's a alternate universe or whatever. But time is a man-made concept, and it's flux. And there's somewhere in the past, there's a future waiting to be found. The sound of memories, some broken, are littered on the ground. My head recoils at thoughts unkind, a life that happened whether you want it or not. The spot that never heals conceals many flaws and laws you never knew existed. Watch out. It will caught up with you, taking you unawares as you stared into the abyss, trying to see what you might become. You're long past scared. Crimes with rhymes from times still to be, awaken the dead who are yet to be born. Forlorn hopes and dreams that in the future you had. Erasing time before it gets here. But the truth is, there is no journey. You're all arriving and departing at the same time. If you think, therefore you will be, as you are before, as the door to the past, as the portal to the future, where sutures help to heal the wound. Some time alone only heals them. You can scheme and plan and try to escape. The best is yet to come. And even Orlick Coleman knew, or he will know, that tomorrow is the question. Answer when you can if you haven't already. Time is flux. It breathes in many places. It's checking you out as you check in. It will play with you, toy with you, and all the while keeping its eye on you. Keeping time, dancing to the same song, and not everyone remembers the music, but I do, and I can put the needle back on the turntable. It's not sliding doors, it's not a fork in the road, it's not a choice. Is it a flashback, flash forward to another time, or the same space? The lives we all lead are like cracks in fallen leaves. The glitches that appear in your reality, they're just ripples. There's no ghost, no mysterious shadows. It's neither here nor there nor is. It was. I mean, death isn't the song's end, just punctuation. This one's actually quite true, but it's not about Dundee, it's about Aberdeen. It's actually called 1,000 Shades of Grey, or Why Hawaiian Shirts Are Only Worn at Stag Nights. I was sitting at a TGI Fridays the other day. Do not judge me. The limited choice of vegan eateries in this area is poor, but it all fits in with this. I passed a comment to June. There's a severe lack of individuals in this city. Her agreement was instant. As people are monotone, monotonous, regardless of race, colour, creed. I mean, they may bleed red, but most look as if their insides are dead. Whether they're going to the bingo or to classes to learn another lingo, they lack invention in their style. And all the while my eyes seek colour. A journey or adventure and guessing their intentions. The city is more multicultural than the past, but each passerby looks the last, except one in royal blue dress and tutu and bright coloured sneakers, seeing things with active peepers. She was young, preschool, I guess. When she gets older, will she just look like all the rest? Teenage girls with the latest fashion, looking like each other without obvious passion. Anyway, it's what they do, I surmise. All greys and blacks, blue jeans and hoodies. Wanting to be just like everybody, wanting to be the same. Summer floral frocks, because that's all the shops stock. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no revolution. There is only Primark. I mean, why are you hiding? You don't have to stand out from the crowd. You don't have to dress very loud. Ridiculous. That's not the answer, not the way. Dare to be individual, that's what I say. So after all this, what is my conclusion? Is bland just an illusion? Peel back the sports pants, joggers and sameness. Will I see a butterfly emerge? If I ever get this on. I have my doubts about such things. Revolution will not be televised. There will be no revolution. There's not even Topshop now. There is only Primark. Separate beds and dry little kisses mean you're chasing darkness for a living. Where every second counts as you're looking for something to bring you back to the nothingness, which at least is something. And vast acres of silence permeates the rabble rants of discontent. Bent blades, lustres lost in the realms of misunderstanding, hang about street corners looking for hope. But that went spiraling down the drain before you even found it. Pleading voices take umbrage at being ignored. Punctuated pauses catch the next flight to the east, where they will be celebrated, being celebrated, as they should be. Where you wait in a different east, toasting with an imaginary glass of mezcal, the sour cream of local friendships that ignore the words of others. There's no respite from the world I've left behind, but you don't mind as you step into an area of misbelief, travelling well into the realm of me. Really? Of course you really. Why should it not be? Always open to realization that simplicity is best when slightly complicated. And I'm well past the age for party naps and tactical pukes, and tempting futures is just tomorrow's way of saying, well, the way out to space is just across the ocean. Stand alone, but never lonely. It's not my need to move in the shadows, nor wave the midday flag. As roses clash, the night elm is dying, twittering, dishing out serious excuses. There's reason to realise that not all is needed to be. Accepting light is always there. The separation matters. The way to now is here, and here is now is where it should be. Have a seat. Older. It gets tiring trying so hard sometimes. That's why I often switch to power-saving mode. The load slips off my shoulders easily as the need for urgency recedes daily. Vast pages of clouds of emails adorn the shelf above, because it sometimes snows in Benidorm, and I sneak out the doors no one's dared to look, and go home to my last biscuit. Today someone younger will be sitting in the chair thinking they invented sex and drugs and rock and roll, but in reality it's partly cloudy, with the sound of climate change ringing in your ears. You'd never heard of Led Zeppelin, strangely, whereas I had heard of George Formby. It's not a judgment I'm making, forsaking the follies of youth. It just is. Not with the realms of age we live, hoping one of those nights will arrive before the storm, timeless reminders of where I was before, not looking back at hopeless times. You can keep your searching youth, as some things are more beautiful when they're rusty. And being in a dark place is good at times, as the bright lights often hide those that need to be seen. So give me calloused hands and tender hearts above the greedy times in which we live, and I will seek out new adventures, content with the contentment in my mind. Now, you wonder what people see of you, what everyone expects of you. I mean, what do you want to expect me to be? What do you expect me? What did anyone expect anyone to be, if not themselves? But I will slice my personality up into pieces and share it around. And you can each have a bit of what you expect me to be, because few really know the real me. It's not a disguise I wear, but there's only so much I can share, as the whole is made up of many parts. Clean from years of experience and tears and fears and countless disappointments collected along the way. Expectations, I have none. As it's good to be surprised, and in reverse, the worst you thought of me, why, only what your blinkered eyes did see. I'm not here to please, appease, or even agree unless those things are fine with me. And supposing they are, I seek not to boast nor toast my successes, just state the facts and move along, creating and staying on my track and not looking back nostalgically, just treasuring the memory. And sometimes I say things untoward, but telling my thoughts, bursting out quietly without a shout. Not meaning to upset or get you offended in any way, and if you do, hey, my apologetic words are in your ears. That's just your share of how you think I am. And all is true as much as nothing is true, as I'm an older man, still in his youth, hopefully. Thing about getting older, why I'm here today is the older I get, not the less I give a shit, the less I give a shit what people think me of it, you know. Oh, you can't do that, I'm too old. I'm not. You're never too old. And the thing is, people get scared of doing stuff. Man, I don't want to go bungee jumping or anything, it might harm me. But, you know, ask me to do something and it's a challenge, I will try it. Because you need a dialogue with fear to help you keep your ship on the even keel and help you steer around the rocks, whilst not being afraid of the rocks. Because the rocks don't know you exist. You, however, know they exist. But not everything is black and white, but also it's not all psychedelic colours. And not everyone is out to get you. Neither does the world owe you a sandwich. You have to make your own sandwich. But if someone offers you salad for your sandwich, they might just be offering you salad for your sandwich and not wanting anything in return except the simple thank you. With age, they say, comes experience. But experience doesn't come with sitting at home, sitting still, both physically and mentally. And nothing is more than a state of mind. And being afraid of nothing is nothing short of odd, and just as complex as being afraid of everything. Sadness doesn't always howl. Sometimes it's whispering voice at the end of the day, asking, is there room in your head for one more? Okay, Lucy. A friend once asked me, if the friend can see.
What can I learn from a friend like you? At first glance, you might wonder what we have in common. 3 decades between us, and yet I identify. There's something about you, that sparkle in your eye. Tell me your story, the things you think I should know, years of wisdom that can help me to grow. And you can ask me anything in return.
Oh, thank you for your opportunity. Look, I would never presume to be wiser than you. The knowledge I have is due to the paths I have crossed. The little I've gained so far is but a drop in the ocean compared to what there is to know. I may have more experience than you, but your experiences are different to mine and as important. We've both gained from knowing each other, and it's the knowledge of knowing that helps to keep me growing. And all I would ask, and it's not a difficult task, is not to dwell in the past. There's a difference between nostalgia and memories. There are no good old days, because in between the happy happenings, the sad ones existed too. For every one that made you smile, another one made you blue. They say you only remember the good times, and sure, that often is the case. And sometimes the bleak times fade with age. Sometimes. But if you were never down, how would you know what's up? You wouldn't always be a young pup. But while I rejoice at being this age, my age, I realise there may be things I wouldn't do again. As I'm now a septuagenarian, they help make me what I am today. Slow down? What now? Not me. You see, I still have lots of things I want to and need to do before my time is done. As long as I can walk and think and, yeah, well, not quite run, but keep on doing the things I do, trying new things, expand my range, never ever be afraid of change. I realise this will not be the first choice in voice, but that's all right. I've never been ingrained to any gang. I still have plenty to say, and without ignorance getting in the way, it's your loss, not mine or ours. As older folk, we will tell our tales and share our words, and if you think that is absurd, that's your problem, not ours. I am aware that I'm in my latter stages, so that means not caring for fashions or the latest rages. But I can still develop, still do more, learn from younger voices. Don't limit myself in my choices. And despite my years, despite my time, I will keep on transforming, for I am Septimus Prime. This one was called 72, but I'm now 73, so we'll call it that. I don't write as a young man. It's been a long time since I've been there. And if the young men should ever shout, "Hey, old man," I will smile and be happy. But I wonder how many of them will be the recipient of that shout. To have seen and been seen is what I have with me. That can never, ever be taken away. That age holds on to recall of the young man I once was. Without regrets or apologies, secrets, not lies, and some surprises in the long time past. I don't look back at anger at the stranger I once was. The difference stems from knowing, learning, mistakes along the way, decisions and some small derisions, mostly in my mind. Self-confidence lacked back then, back when. So here I am, here we are, top of the family tree, with younger roots and branches below, trying to know what they don't know yet, discovering their way to reach this age of not young, and yet not old. I think the thing about getting elderly is just, never go, "Oh, when I was younger," or "Oh, look at them, what are they up to?" It's all about acceptance. And I don't wear headphones as I walk down the street. I don't want to listen to music or podcasts or, anything. I want to hear the sounds of the world as it is now. I want to smell the world, savor every minute of the world before the world, or I, go. And sure, it would be great without the diesel smells, the petrol swells, and but what the hell? And I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. Perfection doesn't exist. Despite the images of sun-kissed beaches and verdant foliage under which still live leeches, the world is wondrous, lush and green, wild and calm and serene, and there's beauty in the concrete towers, sometimes. And I want to take it all in every day, every hour I exist, feeling blessed within the beat of the heart of nature, before mankind, selfish, greedy, blind, takes it all away. Meanwhile, today, despite my hearing loss, I will try and listen to the sounds around, breathe in as much of nature as my failing sense of smell can get, and see the world before my eyesight fails. For we are here, but for a short while. But I've been a long time on this trail, never trying to be catalogued, box predictive, never shy of change, never sure what I'm going to say next. Where the inspiration comes, that remains a paradox, a mystery to even me, a word, a thought, a TV programme. Yeah, I do watch telly, often the stranger the better. I'm proudly Scottish, but rarely right in Scottish. I'm proudly North East, but rarely right in Doric. Sorry. I've travelled far and wide, but rarely write about that, for they are my memories. My hot air balloon trips, my submarine trips, my nearly being thrown off the cliff off the back of a joyously independent elephant. These are all true stories I have told. Not poetry or prose to share. I will, unfiltered, stick up for human rights against the unnatural human right wing. I will support my brothers and sisters out there because I can. And if you don't want to listen, that's your choice. It's not a free world anymore, regardless of what you might think. Labels and categories, they don't interest me. Sweeping generalizations, just pass on, please, pass on. They're not needed in this place, this space, this time. I'm always willing to work with you, write with you, for free. There I've said it, for free. A swear word in the land of spoken word. It's not my job, it's my life. And if you want to support me, that's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I am here, staying here, flexible, open to change, yes, uncompromised, unfiltered. That also. I'm uneducated in the art of poetry, of writing, but of caring and sharing. I am me. I am not a number. I do not have a box. I do not want a box. Because boxes hold you in. Speaking of memories, when I was young, I played in the dirt. I mean, post-war babies. No harm done, outside in the sun, dusty fun where kids belonged, round the block, preschool, school. Now there's a different place. Unused and shy. I took a tray of plasticine from the teacher instead of just one bit, and listened to the radio with my classmates. And there was a long corridor in the corrugated iron metal huts. Move up a class, they said, and I did. And there was a big black bird on the playing field. And I wrote lists of boats and talking of parachutes before moving on in my happy childhood and unhappy adolescence. But let us not compare past, as nostalgia holds no sway in my heart or head. The past is dead, lived in, outlived, nothing left to give. The language we talk, I talk, have talked, will talk, is the whisper of a scream. The dreams of thoughts unfilled without regret. And genuinely, I could have gone to Australia, but I avoided another war, not knowing that wars never cease to exist. At least I have peace in my spent rage as I act my age, which is no age, just as I am, until I am no more. But the thing is, you've got to realise that you are, I am, in the very much latter stages of my life. Could be 2 weeks, could be 2 years, could be 22. Fortunately, on one side, most of my relatives lived till the mid-90s, so thoughts blasted. This one's called Existence is Futile. Comes a time when the earth shall discard us like crusted skin, and we shall not see the world within, all rotting flesh, infested scars, and stars still shining down, relentlessly ignoring the human wasteland, created by our need for greed and constantly ignoring the signs. Our time on earth, meanwhile, is counting down. And today I went to my favourite beach. Instead of towards the cave, the other way, the less walked way, the way of ancient times where dried and withered seaweed lie on rocky shores by slowly bubbling streams. And crinkled hearts are there to pick up. Nature made pathways where time looks if it stays still, and the view brings the horizon closer until it disappears. and resting nature waits for the tide to turn beside different rocks. Resisting nature, shaped by time, and will still be the only constant long, long after we have plundered and left. Bereft of knowledge, and only clues that if intelligent life should ever return, they would puzzle over. On the shores were seeping waters from strong and resilient cliff faces, with imaginary doors run over burnt amber coloured plant life, surviving all the storms that man and nature have made, prevailing, unlike the bones of some small and forgotten beast, but like the pock-faced stone the size of a giant's head beside one more bend before the tide comes in and covers up all traces of my skull-covered van footprints in the sands and pebbles, and washes away the small dragon's head that bore existence, bore witness to my existence there. Let me go a step back, because death has no fangs. It's just a respite at the end of life, and life that will be misplaced after it's needed no more. And grieving will continue before the time comes for them to be grieved over also. The impermanence of now, soon to be sewn into the helms of garments of sorrow. It matters not if you're forgotten now, as you will be in the future. You're just a suture in the fragment of time waiting to be unpicked, licked, kissed better, and then left. So do not mourn me while I'm gone. Mourn me now while you have the chance, and dance with me to the music of your own making before my escaping energy leaves this earthly body and scatters amongst the stars, mixed with all the past forgotten, whose solid bodies have rotted so long ago. I bequeath to my mother all the lost confidence I had as a child and as a teenager until my midlife crisis, where I bought 2 pairs of winkle-picker drooping-heeled boots to be able to walk and hold my head up high in public. And that's not easy in them. And then at 65, I learned to stand up on the stage and take command. So, to all the groupie passengers in over 45 years of taxi driving that waited for the 10 or 20 pence change, especially waiting staff, who boasted about all the tips they made that night and then left none. Guys on big business accounts, those asking for a receipt for more than the fare but only paying the fare. I wrote the correct price down and then signed names like Mickey Mouse and Adolf Hitler. For you, I leave the steam off my shite, the same steam I wouldn't give to folk I know and don't like. To students, fucking students, who expect you to use your car as a means of flitting and moving boxes and bags and pillows and dragging all their earthly belongings, and some devilish ones as well, into the taxi, expecting you to pile them up inside the seats and on the floor and squeeze inside the fucking door. And just relocating just the next street down and just standing there, mouth agape, as I'm expected to pack the boot. I bequeath to you the shopping trolley, the one you used originally to wheel your pal home, and the cone. I leave to those who take me for granted this plastic bag in which I've just farted, a reminder of the stench you leave after using me and getting me to believe that you appreciate my work. Instead, you were just a jerk, doing it for your own sake and making me just another step. And finally, I bequeath to my first wife, who buggered off on her daughter's 3rd birthday, taking all the cigarettes and cash, leaving our 2 kids with me that the social work tried to take. Over my dead body, I said, you get nothing. Just a hole in the ground, which I hope is damp and dank and full of all the darkest things that the rest of your miserable life may share. If you're not already dead, that is, and cause such torment in your head. But then again, if it weren't for then, I might not be where I am right now. But still, enjoy the whole. Right, thank you all for coming. I have one more piece to do, and it's only audience participation part that's in it. Some people know it. At the very end, you've got the word you've got to listen to. When I shout "fuck off," I want you all to shout, "No, you fuck off." It's nice and simple. And this, it's basically about the joy of swearing. It's called Ode to Fuck. Sanctimonious people lurk in purple corners, prim and proper in their minds, popping out to hear your tale, eyes wide, attentive ears, eager listeners, just my kind, silent and paying attention lest they miss the salient point, as from the cloisters of my mind, blessed words to them anoint. Then there's that look. You know what it means. Yeah, I was right with you there until you swore. I swore? Of course I fucking swore. Just be objective of the adjective. I'm describing fuckers like you. You know, with your no need for that stare. There are several degrees of annoyance. It's like, you know, they're a bit annoying. God, are they annoying? No, they really are annoying. Oh, for fuck's sake, the fuck do I have to be so fucking annoying for? Living as they do with the sideways glances in the 21st century patter vacuums, judging others for their choice of words when everything else would be just quite absurd. Because it's not a hole. It's not a big hole. It's a fucking big hole. There is no other way to say it. I like coffee shops, vape stores, beggars and reform voters now. There's one of you in every corner, and you can't tell me what to write or what to say. You're not my editor in any fucking way. It's my poem, my story. Oh my, you're getting on your high horse over things I say and speaking thus. I have no shame shadow hanging over me, no licking eyes or false remorse. My course is not deliberately coarse, my path not rough, but you are still a tip of us. I don't suffer from coup de clasm. You're fucking with me, well, I don't give a toss. I can tell you to go off, but that makes no sense. Whereas if I say, fuck off.
No, you fuck off.
All right. Okay, thank you. Do this when nobody else would let me do it, apart from Ali's garden.